Good day. Welcome to everyone who joined us. My name is Olga Tamanova, and I'm greeting you at the Media Center of Ukraine today. Our second briefing today will be dedicated to the topic very important. We will talk about government programs supporting parents and children and childhood. So we will speak about the new programs and what will be the programs that will continue operating in 2026. Now I would like to present our speaker today. Today we have with us Liudmyla Shemelinets, First Deputy Minister of Social Policy, Family and Unity of Ukraine, and we also have today Yevhen Kapinus, Chairman of the Board of the Pension Fund of Ukraine. Greetings, dear guests. First of all, thank you that you've joined us here today. And we will be discussing the matters which of great concern to many Ukrainians. And so I would like to start with the government programs of support to parents and the children of Ukraine, what had been approved, what new, what novelties we can expect, and what will continue. Good day. Thank you for your question, and thank you for this opportunity to tell our viewers about new programs, because usually when new laws are being brought forward, usually a communication campaign is required to communicate novelties and some new programs and initiatives to avoid chaos and to provide people information, and so that people are sure that all their rights are upheld. Since 21st of January 2026, a new law has been enacted, which envisages increase of the payment, one-off payment after a child is being born. As of today is 50,000 hryvnias. This is a one-off payment. And those parents whose child was born before 21st, before to this date, before 2026, and they received in total 41,000 hryvnias after the birth of child, they will continue receiving 860 hryvnias until the child reaches 3 years of age, and since January of 2026 and up to 1 year. When the child reaches 1 year age, they will receive 7,000 hryvnias. And also those parents of children who has reached 1 year, and parents who work full-time, or the person who was in custody of the child, they are entitled to receive monthly 8,000 hryvnias. This is the program eYasla. And this program aims to facilitate combining by parents work and parenting, and this money also they are aimed to be spent on kindergartens, on some children activities, development activities, all the services which are needed for the care of the child until the child reaches 3 years of age. Now, speaking about 7,000 years before the child reaches 1 year old, this money can be spent on any goods for children before they reach 1 year old. We already tested this money on purchasing goods when the parents received also this similar money package in 2025. That was the money for pupils, for preparation of pupils to school, and we tested this program back that time. and it demonstrated its effectiveness. And I'm sure that this program will be as effective as the previous programs were. In addition, we envisage additional payments for 7,000 hryvnias monthly for pregnant women. So how Ukrainian citizens, how Ukrainian women can use these services, can receive these services, about timing, etc. In order to receive payments, you need to get in touch with representative offices of the Pension Fund of Ukraine. Partially, part of services you can order through via DIA, through eMalatko DIA service, and also the package for a newborn, in case mother wants to receive this big box in a maternity hospital. By the way, it's a very good box. We have seen it, and many mothers, we received quite a good feedback about this box. But if you choose not to receive this box, you can get it in monetary compensation via DIA, via eMalatko tool in DIA. Now, yes, there are currently quite big queues, lines, because people don't understand the timing of the payments. Children who in the beginning of 2026 have reached 1 year, the parents of these children will be entitled to receive 7,000 hryvnias per month, and the parents have the right, in order to receive this payment, to start receiving this payment, the parents should apply by the end of February. And now we work on some adjustments into this resolution, and we plan to extend this term of application term up to 3 months. Now, about the children who were born in 2026, the application can be submitted throughout the year, 12 months, and also this will entitle you to receive 7,000 of hryvnias during a year. Am I understanding right that if this 50,000 hryvnias, if a child was born in January, then this child will be entitled to this 50,000 hryvnias, but if a child was born in December, then this child is entitled to the older program for 41,000 hryvnias. That's right. Children who were born in 2025, they have the right to receive 41,000 hryvnias, plus 7,000 hryvnias starting from January and throughout the year. I would also like to reiterate that the pension fund has its outlets in different locations, and so a person can apply at the location. I'm very grateful that there is a proposition to extend the application period, because now we observe quite a backlog, quite long lines. And so the extension of the application period will simplify this process, and so that people will have the opportunity to come at their convenience, when it's convenient to them, to submit documents to apply. Also, on the portal, you can also use our portal to apply. Now, about timeline for applications, we receive now application. We are now at the stage of receiving application, and the next period we will start to make payments. Now, speaking about 50,000, these people who have had child since 2026, and these children are entitled to this payment. If the child was born in the previous year, then they will be on the continued program, which existed in the previous year. Now, about the way of application, the method of application, there are different ways to apply as of today. First of all, when Speaking about the payment after the birth, there is opportunity to apply online or through the administration centers, administrative service centers, or you can apply through a DIA application, through eMalatko program, or by mail. Speaking about new services which are only being implemented, in particular care for a child up to 1 year old, that is eMalatko program. Currently, you can receive obtain such services by applying to the pension fund. And I hope soon there will be options to do it through a DIA or online pension fund page. But we still need some time to land it, actually, to roll it out, to roll out these options, probably a month or two. And so as of today, we are trying to operate as open, to be as open as possible in order to minimize this first volume of application, in order to reduce this first volume of application, because we now see quite a long lines. We plan to extend the application period to reduce the backlog, and we try to also staff our centers, our application centers, with as many staff as possible, so that to quickly process these lines and applications. That's briefly about a procedure which is necessary to apply to the pension fund to receive these benefits. So when do you expect the first benefits when speaking about support for families with children under 1 year old? Speaking about these benefits, we hope that next month we will start giving payments. We have some technical details about special accounts which should be used for these special payments, because, as I said, these funds had been because these funds must be spent on goods for a child, needed for a child up to 1 year old of life. And so we need to register certain accounts in banks, and when these accounts are registered, we will be able to wire money onto those accounts. Am I understanding correctly that the money comes to the accounts provided by people, and as I understand that these 7,000 can be spent on particular range of goods connected with a child? Yes, currently, as I said, these money, they are targeted, so the person can spend this money for some clothes, for development activities, and other activities as a target, specified as target activities, outlined as target activities. And also it is envisaged that banks should open some specialized accounts which control where this money will be spent. For example, good example that the account which was used for the package of school of a pupil in the past, the similar program. So the bank tracked so that this money is spent on special goods which are needed for school. Similarly, in this example, this money will be allowed to spend according to the resolution, as it outlined in the resolution for the purposes. And when this money is spent, it will be controlled so that this purchase is done for the goods which are outlined for this purpose. So speaking about 50,000 hryvnias, is there such a purposeful goal I would like to answer here. According to the law, the money, in any case, the money received by the parents after the birth of a child, this money must be spent on the care for this child. But there is no purpose outlined or specified for this 50,000 hryvnias, because this is one-off amount, because the birth of a child requires quite large expenditures in the family, and so that's why we did not specify any goal, any purpose for spending this money. But we will track how this money will be spent by the parents, and maybe in the future we will make some adjustments into this resolution. Dear colleagues, if you have any questions, please. Ms. Liudmyla, can you tell me about eYasla program if a mother or a father wants to hire babysitter? So what documents they require, what the process look like? So is it similar to kindergarten? And another question, who can replace a babysitter? Who can some close ones, relatives, provide this service for money, for payment? Can a parent sign an agreement with some relative, with some family member? I didn't quite understand what you mean by statement from the kindergarten. We have so eYasla program envisages only one requirement: a parent or mother or another custodian should have a full-time job. That's 8 hours, 8-hour job. Because I know there are statements about full day, but it's not acceptable, because it should specify that it's 8 hours working day. There are different professions, and different professions have different timings for what is a full working day. But according to the legislation, the full working day is 8 hours. So the statement doesn't need to specify the number of hours. Just needs to specify the full day. Maybe some organizations they specify the number of hours, because if there are some professions where the fewer hours they are equivalent to the full day, then it still makes the full day. Why I am asking? Because some parents already have experience, had this experience when they provided the statement about the full day employment, and the pension fund rejected these statements because the pension fund said that it should be specified the numbers of hours. In fact, over this month, we had many occasions when additional clarifications have been required, but we actively cooperate with the applicants. We review each case which we receive to our emails, to Facebook, in the messengers, etc. So we are ready, we are open to review and go over any cases which are dubious. Now, about your question about babysitter, we say that this is money specified for a certain purpose. So if there is somebody from relatives, then this relative must be registered as an entrepreneur. This cannot be a father or mother, but in any case, this should be a person who is registered as a physical person, an entrepreneur, and has registered by the business activity as a care for child. There are different types of economic activities which allow to conclude these types of agreements. Another question, the FOPs, these physical person entrepreneur, are they allowed to receive this service? So if a mother is registered as an entrepreneur, can a mother receive this service, and what statements she needs to provide, to submit? This question have been discussed in Verkhovna Rada when this law was prepared in the first reading, in the second reading, because we in order to avoid any misunderstanding or when it's impossible inability to track. This was so it was decided that the grounds is only full working day. So FOPs, like when a parent is an entrepreneur, no, they unfortunately are not covered by this program. You need to be employed on a full working day in some organization. If the law is being adjusted to extend this program onto the physical persons entrepreneurs, yes, it will be extended, but currently the law does not provide for that. Thank you. Katerina Halka, TV channel Espresso. Just a small clarification. As of 19 January, do you know how many applicants already applied to receive the 50,000 hryvnias, so after the birth of the first child? Currently, I would not like to give any numbers because, as I said, currently we envisage application through the application options through email and online, and so we will calculate later the true number, because currently we don't have these figures now. Thank you very much. I have another question, a bit more broad. We understand that currently the demography strategy is very important for our country. Part of the strategy is being implemented by your policy, by your ministry. So what plans? Maybe you could share some plans in that regards. A big part of the demography policy is actually increasing the payment after the birth of a child, after child's birth, and increasing the number of services, because currently we would like to switch our focus from resolving the problems, because resolving the problems remains among key tasks and priorities of the ministry, but we also try to focus more on the preventive measures, the measures which parents need, parents with small children require, because among researches carried out by our international partners and civil organizations, when parents are being asked what would provide the most stimuli for birth of child, these not always included funding or finances. They often included like the number of services, a wider range of services, babysitters, kindergartens, where what will allow the parents feel that they are not left face to face with a newborn child, but they will have a network of support of services, so that's why among our current tasks, we also would like to provide services of early intervention if the child is born prematurely. And so this is what we consider currently in the second reading. At the legislative level, we would like to introduce this early intervention service at the legislative level. And also there is another program, Kindergarten, eSadok. Basically, it's about kindergarten, which will envisage, in case of the absence of a free spot in a free place in the kindergarten, the local governance bodies will pay out parents some amount, because 8,000 hryvnias, eYasla, it's only for 2026. Each next year, this amount will be reconsidered, reapproved for each next budget. And so if the government has enough money, then this amount will grow. In case there is no free place in a kindergarten, or if local self-governing authorities do not finance another kindergarten in another in another community, then this parent also will receive the extra payment. Preventive measures include help to young families and being constantly in touch with parents, communication with parents. So many services they're aiming at a preventive mechanism, and we believe that this will allow parents feel that they are not alone in their situation. I have now about a question to you about more practical aspect of the application, because we know that for many people it's quite a difficult process to collect all the documents, where people can read the list of documents, what probably mistakes, what lesson learned you already have had. First of all, we always post all the information about all the payment on our website, and every person can read about the list of documents and what is needed in order to apply. A person can read on our website about it. Plus, we have technological cards, which in our outlets we have leaflets which also include all the lists of the documents and describe all the procedure. Plus, the person needs to have a form to have a form which this person will be filling. Plus, we would like to minimize the number of documents required to apply. Currently, it includes the application and the document about birth certificate. And basically, there are no more documents in the majority of cases are not needed, because we apply all the efforts in order to take all the information from the state registers, in particular income information, some leave days, sick days information. And the person does not need to provide all this information. The person only needs to provide the information approved by the Cabinet of Ministers. All the other documents we collect by ourselves from the state registers. It's important, the question that you raised, the income. Will the income situation, the amount of income, the volume of income, will it have some limitations on the payment? There are no such limitation when it comes to the payment after a birth of a child, but speaking about the payment connected with care, yes, there are certain income limit which is taken into account. But in that case, a person also does not need to provide any additional statement or information. The pension fund will receive this information from other sources, and we will calculate the volume of income. I would like to thank you for being with us today, for this information that you shared with us. I hope the people have fewer questions after our program, and I hope if you still have a question, you will find this information on different resources, including Pension Fund of Ukraine. And I would like also to thank to the Armed Forces of Ukraine for us, because thanks to them we have this opportunity to get together here and to raise important questions. And thank you for attention, and glory to Ukraine.